I'm 29 now, but this happened when I was 26, back when I was working remotely as a junior data analyst for a logistics company in Chicago. I've always been pretty quiet and introverted, the type of person who triple checks locks, saves receipts just in case, and lives almost entirely through predictable routines. I don't party, I don't have some dramatic social life, and until this happened, I genuinely believed that being boring kept you safe. The incident took place over a 3-day span in early fall of 2023, right before the weather turned cold, but after the late summer heat wave passed. I was living alone in a 1-bedroom apartment on the 2nd floor of a brick building near Logan Square. Nothing glamorous, squeaky floors, thin walls, and a mailbox that jammed if you breathed on it wrong. I remember the Monday morning clearly because everything started so normal. I'd taken the day off to catch up on chores, and one of the things on my list was returning an Amazon package, a pair of wireless earbuds I never opened because I realized too late they weren't compatible with my device. The return label had been sitting on my desk for a week, and I finally printed it. At the time, it didn't feel like an important decision. I just wanted the refund. Now, I think about that package more than anything else from that year, because returning it brought someone to my door. I packed the earbuds back into their small cardboard box, taped it shut, and attached the prepaid return label. I remember smoothing it with my hand to make sure the barcode was flat. Just one of those small things I do to reassure myself I'm not messing it up. I walked downstairs around 10 a.m. to leave the box in the outgoing deliveries section near the mailboxes. My building didn't have a front desk or anything, just a narrow lobby where the mail carrier usually sorted letters before climbing the stairs. When I got there, a few other packages were already lined up on the shelf. A big Target box, 2 padded envelopes, and a lopsided Amazon bag. Mine was the smallest. I tucked it between the Target box and one of the padded envelopes, nothing unusual. I spent the rest of the day doing normal, forgettable things, folding laundry, vacuuming, taking out the trash. I almost forgot I'd even left the package downstairs until my phone buzzed around 3 p.m. with the standard Amazon notification. Your return pickup is scheduled for today. I shrugged it off. They always pick up around mid-afternoon. Around 6 p.m., I went downstairs again to grab the mail. The shelf was empty. Everything had been collected. Even my stubborn mailbox opened on the first try, which felt like a small victory. I glanced at the vacant return shelf for a moment, feeling oddly accomplished. Another task done, refund on the way. I made dinner, watched YouTube while eating, took a shower. Nothing about the day hinted at anything wrong, but when I woke up the next morning, I found a small, nondescript cardboard box placed neatly against my apartment door, and the return label I had printed was still stuck on it. For a second, I thought maybe the delivery driver accidentally brought it back. Mistakes happen. I picked up the box. It was the same size, same weight, the exact same tape job, except when I turned it over, the bottom seam was slit open, not torn, not damaged. Cut. A clean, straight line. The earbuds were gone. Inside was a single sheet of paper folded twice. My stomach tightened before I even opened it. The handwriting was heavy and uneven, like someone pressed too hard with the pen. Wrong item, not what I needed. That was it. No name, no explanation. I stared at it for a long time, trying to make sense of it. Had someone in my building taken it? A neighbor? But why would they cut it open, take the earbuds, then return the box to me? Maybe it wasn't my package at all and Amazon had mixed something up. But the return label had my name, my address, my refund code. I walked downstairs to the lobby and checked the return shelf, almost expecting to find the real box sitting there. Nothing. Still, I told myself it was weird, not dangerous. Maybe some porch pirate got confused. Maybe someone panicked after stealing it and brought it back. I tossed the note in my trash can and left the empty box near my recycling bin. Then I went back to my work laptop, trying hard to push the whole thing out of my mind. But around 1 p.m., when I went downstairs to grab a food delivery, I noticed something that made the hair on my arms rise. Another small cardboard box was sitting on the return shelf, same exact size, same shape, and the label was blank, except for my name handwritten across the top. Someone in the building was trying to give me something, or get me to take something. I didn't touch the new box at first. My instinct said to leave it exactly where it was. It wasn't part of any delivery service. My name was handwritten in thick black marker, nothing else. No barcode, no stamp, no tracking number, just for my first name. I backed away slowly, pretending I hadn't seen it. But all afternoon, I kept replaying the moment in my head. Had someone watched me put the earbuds downstairs? Did they follow the mail carrier? Did they wait until the building was quiet to return the empty box? At 5 p.m., and I heard footsteps in the hallway, slow, deliberate steps that paused right outside my door. I froze. The sound didn't move for several seconds. Then came a soft scraping noise, like fabric brushing against my doorframe. I didn't breathe until the footsteps eventually retreated. I checked the peephole, empty hallway. The anxiety built enough that I finally went downstairs again, partly to get out of my apartment and partly to see if the strange box was still there. It was, but now it had been moved closer to the edge of the shelf, like someone wanted to make sure I noticed it. Against my better judgment, I picked it up. The box was heavier than the one from earlier. Something shifted inside when I tilted it. The tape job looked rushed, with uneven lines and fingerprints smudged into the adhesive. I didn't open it downstairs. Instead, I went back up to my apartment, locked the door, and set the box on the kitchen counter. I stared at it for a long time, feeling a dull pressure at the back of my skull, a kind of instinctive warning. But eventually, curiosity got the better of me. I sliced it open. Inside was something that made my skin crawl. The box contained my original earbuds box, the one I had thrown out that morning. Same tear on the corner, same tape. Someone had gone through my trash. My mouth went dry. Beneath it was another folded note. This time the handwriting was neater, like someone slowed down. I think these belong to you. You left them out. I felt my chest tighten. I hadn't left them out. They were inside my trash can, inside my apartment. Someone had been here. My hands shook as I backed away from the counter. I grabbed my phone and called my landlord first. No answer. Then I called the non-emergency police line. They told me someone would check it out when available, but unless I had evidence of forced entry, it didn't sound like an emergency. Forced entry, right, because whoever did this had a key. Around 8 p.m., I heard the footsteps again. Heavier this time. They stopped right outside my door. I grabbed a kitchen knife, my heart pounding. A soft knock. Hey, I think you forgot something. The voice was male. Calm. Too calm. I didn't answer. Another knock, slightly harder. I saw you pick up the box earlier, he said. I wanted to make sure you got the right one this time. I stepped closer to the door, but didn't unlock it. Through the peephole, I saw only part of a shoulder, a grey hoodie, and a hand holding another small cardboard package. "I think you should open this one," he said. His tone was almost cheerful. I whispered, "Go away." A pause. Then his head turned just enough for me to catch the lower half of his face, a grin that didn't reach his eyes. "You really shouldn't throw things away." I backed away from the door. He stayed there for several seconds, then set the box gently on the floor and walked off. Police arrived 40 minutes later. Of course, he was gone. The officers looked around my apartment and confirmed what I already suspected. No broken locks, no pry marks, nothing they could classify as a break-in. I felt stupid trying to explain how someone had returned something from inside my apartment without signs of forced entry. They suggested it might have been a neighbor mixing up packages, or a prank, or someone misunderstanding what belonged to whom. When they finally left, I immediately took the new box they'd ignored and carried it outside to the dumpster without opening it. The next morning, I changed my locks myself. 2 deadbolts, a door brace, a camera facing the hallway. I even put a towel under the door so no one could slide anything underneath. I never saw the man again, never heard the footsteps, no more boxes. But for months afterward, every time I walked past the mail area downstairs, my pulse picked up, expecting to see another small cardboard package waiting for me. Something meant for me, from someone watching. It's been almost 3 years, and I still don't use Amazon return pickups anymore. I drive to the drop-off center across town just to avoid leaving anything unattended. And sometimes, late at night, I'll hear a soft scrape outside my door, probably just the building settling. But every time it happens, I think of that last box I never opened, and I wonder if he ever came back for it.